Hector's liaison plane was beginning its final approach into Grace Maria. Hector and Mobius could see the city as they descended. They really have fixed this place up. You might not know there was even a war here. Maybe not from up here, but you go down there and you'll see monuments and memorials everywhere.
Lima 450, you are cleared to land runway 27, wind is 049 at 12 knots.
Copy, Tower. Cleared to land runway 27, wind is 049 at 12 knots. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Lima 450, welcome to Grace Maria.
The plane landed and taxied to the ramp. The ground crew brought out a fuel truck and stairs to the plane. Hector and Mobius stepped out onto the stairs. The base commander was waiting at the bottom. Wow, it's warm here. I don't need this jacket. What, you were expecting this place to be cold just because it's up north? Well, yeah. Nah, I did too. I guess the climate here is actually much warmer than we expected. Why don't you leave that here? Nah, it might be cold in the base. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Welcome to Grace Maria. I'm Robert Sabates, the base commander here. Nice to meet you, Commander Sabates. I'm Hector Lumen. This is Jonathan McClanahan next to me. How do you do? Please call me Robert. Daniel informed me you two were coming. I'll take you to Travis. Thank you. You think you could help us with something? Absolutely. What do you need? Meanwhile, Talisman was chatting with his fellow pilots. How was your guys' weekend?
I went to a ball game. Gotta kill time somehow. It's quiet around here. Not that I'm complaining.
I went out with friends Friday night and recovered the next 2 days. What'd you do, Captain? I was asking you because I didn't do anything. I stayed here.
Again? You don't have to spend all your time here.
I don't like it here. I've got everything I need on this base. I haven't seen any ladies with you, so you're clearly missing something. Hey, if I wanted a lady, I'd have a lady.
Then prove it. The three of us will go out next weekend, and we'll see if you're right.
Just then, the base commander walked in. Travis, you have visitors. Thank God. I'll be right there.
Marcus again?
Probably. I'll ignore you guys later. You know, Kyle? I think I know why he doesn't hang out with us.
Damn, you beat me to it.
Shut your mouths before I throw something at you! Kids, right? Yeah. Anyway, where's Marcus? I don't know, but these men are here to see you. Damn it, guys! Grow up! Sorry about that. Let's talk somewhere else. You can talk in my office. I'll keep these two in line. Thank you. The trio walked down the hall and into the base commander's office. So, how can I help you guys? At ease, Travis. No need to be nervous. My name is Hector Lumen. I'm a liaison officer for the IUN's newly formed Counter-Terrorism Board of Officers. One of our members knows you well and highly recommends you. Talisman stood up straight and realized this was something big. Oh, I see. Who was it? Windhover sends his regards. He told me you'd know what that means. He's on the board? That's cool. So, who is this? You look familiar. Have we met? No, we haven't. My name is Jonathan McClanahan. I'm not on the Board of Officers, but I also recommended you. I've read about your accomplishments during the war with Slovakia. Well, thank you. But who are you? I'm pretty good with faces, and I definitely recognize yours. Maybe you've been doing your reading too, then. I was a pilot during the Usian Continental War. On the battlefield, I was often referred to as the Ribbon because of the ribbon insignia I have on my plane. Talisman's eyes lit up. He was starting to realize who was in front of him, but he wasn't completely sure yet. Ribbon insignia? That's right, this one. Mobius pulled out a small pendant from his jacket with his insignia on it. A friend of mine gave me this while I was in the hospital. Forgot I had it until now. You're Mobius 1? That's right. The guy who practically saved his entire country. In the flesh. But that's no different from you, is it not? Talisman stared with his eyes wide open for a few seconds, unable to get any words out. I think you've impressed him. You need something to drink, son? Finally, Talisman was able to respond. Sorry, sir, but you were a one-man army during that war. I read stories about you as a kid, for goodness sakes. Well, I was pretty good. Oh, don't be so modest, Jonathan. You're meeting a real fan here. Pretty good? You took down Stonehenge, Megalith, and a Yellow Squadron. You might be the greatest pilot who ever lived! Mobius wasn't used to this kind of reaction. He could only crack a smile. Now look, you need something to drink. I appreciate that, Travis, but we're here to talk about you. Right, sorry again. What on earth are you doing here? Like I said, you came highly recommended. Both Jonathan and Aaron, your buddy Daniel asked me to meet with you. What am I recommended for? What I'm about to tell you is highly sensitive information. You cannot discuss this with anyone. Not your squad mates, not the base commander, not even that Marcus fellow you were talking about. Got it? Yes, sir. Good man. We are putting together an elite squadron of fighters for an unprecedented operation. The annexation of Belka. What? Okay, well, I've never fought Belkans before. You're a great pilot. That's why you're here. It won't be that hard for you. Isn't that right, John? It will be incredibly hard. Okay, maybe, but we have a specialist for that. Specialist? Oh, right, I haven't told you about that yet. Wait, Mobius 1 suggested me to fight Belkans? I did. I'm familiar with your work, and I'm very impressed. Thank you, sir. Does that mean we'll be in the same squadron? Yes, I'm slated to be the flight lead. Right, Hector? Yes, of course. Right now it's Jonathan here and 5 other great pilots. You would make 7. I have a contract here with the specifics. And you're here to test me first? I guess you could say that. Like I said, I've read a lot about you, and once Hector told me about this experiment, I was sure you'd be a great pick. Turns out I wasn't alone in that opinion. However, I accompanied Hector here to see the famous Garuda 1 in action. So before you sign on, I want to get some flying time with you. You mean like a dogfight? No. Just some formation flying. If you'll be on my wing, we each need to get familiar with how the other flies. You have some time? I'll make time! Good. I need some practice in formation personally. It's been a long time. You think you could also get a couple pilots to join us? No problem. You need an aircraft, right, John? Can I call you John? I prefer Jonathan, actually. You wouldn't happen to have a Raptor here on the airbase, would you? That's the plane I'm most comfortable with. Actually, you're in luck. We do have one Raptor here. It's a bit of a walk. First, I'll have to make sure the base commander's okay with this, though. No name. Jonathan told me he was going to request this, so I already cleared it with him. Oh, so that question about me having time was rhetorical, wasn't it? Not necessarily. I've been working on my patience, after all. Oh, really? That's a long story. Where are we heading? Follow me. The trio left the office and started walking. It was a rather calm day, good for flying. So who were those hooligans you were yelling at? Nuggets? Not really. They're just young and they think they know it all. Weren't we all once? If we're being honest. So I guess they're new squad mates. Bingo. They'll be joining us today. I have to get my own squadron at some point. Obviously, we're still getting used to each other. Not like it mattered to you. You flew solo. Please, it's not like I did all the work. Upon the interruption, what's that plane over there? Hector gestured to a strange-looking aircraft while they walked. Oh, look at that! I forgot to check that plane out when we got it. We can check it out later. Actually, I prefer to check now if you gents don't mind. Yeah, you can trust us. Just be ready when the exercise starts. Be right back. Hector immediately ran off to check out the plane. He's quite an inspective guy. Seems like he enjoys a nice-looking plane. How long have you known him? I met him last week. Oh, wow. You two seem to get along really well. He's an easy guy to talk to. He's not a typical higher-up who thinks he owns the universe. He'll get along with anyone here, then. Well, here it is. There's a flight suit in the locker over there. Anything else I can do before we start? No, you've been very helpful. I'll get dressed and start to taxi once they let me go. Got it. I'll let the others know. If they say something stupid, just ignore them. Roger that. Talisman turned around and left with a smile on his face, almost overjoyed. Nice guy. At the other end of the base, Hector inspected the plane. It was a strange design, and something he had to wonder where it came from. There was an engineer at the other end of the hangar. He noticed Hector had some interest in it. Hello, sir. Like the plane? What an oddity of a design. Mind telling me a bit about it? Sure, it's a CFA-44 Nosferatu. This plane was made by a state-run company in Slovakia called Albastru Electris. They were the ones who built the iGuion as well. The aerial fortress? Yeah, pictures of it if you wish to see. The... what? You have them on you right now? I don't have a lot of time. Yeah! The engineer reached into his coat pocket and handed them to Hector. Interesting. Thanks, we'll talk soon. Time to get to work. Mobius taxied out of the hangar, pairing up with Garuda 1 through 3.
Alright, let's begin. Garuda team, time to take off. Garuda team, you are cleared to begin your training exercise. Actually, I'll be taking over here. Excuse me? Let me handle this. It's my job to make sure everything goes smoothly. So I'm gonna help with getting this new formation style down. Just gotta take a bathroom break or something. Shouldn't take too long. Okay. Whatever. Mobius, do you read? Loud and clear. It's time to teach you how to work with a squad. Or more specifically, a squadron of skilled pilots who can carry their own weight. Gotcha. So, what are we doing? I know you're used to flying alone, so this formation will be based on that principle. Okay, so Captain, what are we doing? Whatever our guest does, I suppose. Alright, Mobius, your heads-up display should show you and Garuda 1 through 3. This display allows you to select at the beginning of a mission who leads the formation. This choice may not appear depending on the mission parameters, or may have certain members of the formation locked depending on circumstances. Mobius, move the cursor over to your icon and select yourself to lead the formation. Mobius, you now officially lead the formation you're in. As the number 1 of the squadron, you are by default the flight lead for any mission. You can change this when you're on the ground, to either always select who the flight lead is before a mission, or set another pilot as the default flight lead. Otherwise, you can leave it the way it is. Hey Clover, you paying attention? No, not really. Well, now you guys should start paying attention, because now you're involved. Anyway, selecting the formation leader at the beginning of a mission isn't necessarily a big deal. It's only a selection of how you start, because you can actively change formation leader during a mission at any time. Really? Change formation leader? Only the formation. Obviously, you remain as the flight lead. Check the bottom of your HUD, next to your radar. Notice the icon with your squad mates on it. Each abbreviation corresponds to one of the members in your formation. Press right on the directional arrow to change to Talisman as formation leader. Talisman, take the lead. Roger, sir. You got it. Talisman, you are now in control of the flight. While flying in a close formation, everyone will now form up on you, although this only applies should there be no enemies in the airspace. You now have the ability to pass on formation lead to anyone else in the flight. Note that you cannot select yourself once you're already a formation leader. I feel like that would be obvious. Switching to a different formation leader may change the way your formation is operating, and each pilot in the flight will have different specializations, that being things they're good at. Considering you're an attacker, Talisman, you will likely excel more so at ground pounding than others, as it is what you're used to. Mobius is an all-rounder, and in some ways it may help to have him flying on his own volition, rather than leading the formation. I think it's high time you see how this formation operates. The Amerians left some practice dummies at air, ground, and naval for you to shoot at. Since Garuda 2 is a Hornet pilot, he will focus on air-to-surface combat. Talisman, give control to Garuda 3, and then engage targets at your discretion, along with Mobius and Garuda 2. All units, destroy the practice targets. Mobius 1, engaging. Garuda 1, engaging. Garuda 2, engaging. Garuda 3, engaging. Garuda 3 are cleared to attack targets of your choosing as well. Garuda 1, pickle. Fox 1. Mobius 1, you destroyed an air target. Ground target destroyed. Launching anti-ship missile. Mobius 1, you take the lead. Copy that. Amphibious target destroyed. Fox 2. Air target destroyed, Talisman. Fox 3, Fox 3. This is Garuda 3. Confirm 4 kills. Fox 2. Ground target destroyed. Talisman, you've got a ground target. Good job. Fox 2. Surface target destroyed. Radar clear. All practice targets destroyed. That might have been record time. Formation leader is currently Mobius. All planes form up on him. Which one? The one in the F-22, I imagine. Yes. Alright, take notes of your squadron's behavior. Notice Garuda 2 focused on amphibious targets, while Talisman destroyed mostly ground units. Mobius 1 destroyed a variety of both, no surprise there. Garuda 3 also destroyed a few air targets using the XMAs equipped on his F-16. Members who are not Formation Leader will engage the target type they prefer most often. They will from time to time engage separately of their preference, and this is also affected by the special weapons they've been given. If all targets are destroyed of a certain type, let's say, at a ground, then they will switch to preferring another target type. If there's only a single type of enemy in one mission, this won't affect much. But in larger scale battles, there will be a lot of differences in the way each member of the formation goes about their business. Any type of commands? Negative. Every member in Mobius' flight is free to engage at their own volition, without interruption. It's likely you won't be sticking together in battle most of the time, unless the formation leader chooses to stay close to one of his allies, or the battle is concentrated in a small area. If a member of the formation becomes too damaged, they may disengage temporarily. If all members are neutralized, or one is shot down, the mission will be considered a failure. And if there's a return line, crossing it as the current formation leader will automatically give the lead to the next in command. This is quite a lot to take in. I know, but trust me, you'll learn with time. And as I said, you won't need to stress over commanding the squad. They'll get the job done regardless of who is leading the formation. Any unit is able to contribute to the battle, even outside of our coalition force. You won't be alone out there, so you'll have plenty of time to get used to this. Sounds good? Copy all. Are you done yet? Don't get snippy with me. And yes, I'm done. Okay. Mobius and Garuda team, do you copy? We read you. Okay, good. Let's move on with the rest of the scheduled exercises for today.
Hector walked down from the control tower while Mobius and Talisman continued their exercises. I hope that engineer is still around. He could probably tell me more about this Albastro company. Hector walked back into the hangar with the strange plane in it. The engineer was still there. You waited for me? Of course! You said we would talk soon. I didn't want to run off somewhere you couldn't find me. Well, thank you. Everyone seems to be so nice here. We try to be friendly to our neighbors. Just don't mess with us. So, right. So, you said the company was... Albastro. Electros. Right. So, how much do you know? Well, like I said, before they made the IUN, it was and is still the most ambitious project they've ever built. Hector looked at the strange aircraft, but his mind was on another. The resemblance between the IUN and the Belkin-built XBO was striking. He already knew Garuda Industries helped supply the Estavakians during the War with Ameria, so the possibility of Belkin influence in Albastro intrigued him. Do you know if they had Belkins on their payroll? I know Belkin aircraft well, and I'm seeing certain similarities. Like what? The shape, the size. Classified? Yes. Smart. Well, the way the company works is not my area of expertise, but because we have one of their planes, they gave us a phone number to contact them. I'll get it for you. That would be splendid. Meanwhile, the exercises had nearly wrapped up, and it was time to land. Mobius felt comfortable in the air again, his mangled leg having little effect on him. It was also clear him and Talisman could get along well.
Alright, you've done enough for today. Let's get you back down. Garuda team, you're cleared to land. Roger, Tower. Requesting a group landing. Request granted.
Mobius and the others parked their planes in their respective hangars. Talisman had his guys go take a rest while he met back up with Mobius. Seems like you've still got the touch. So how did I do? You were great up there. Everything I've heard about you is true. How was I? Amazing as always. I'm not testing you, though. I was testing myself. I haven't flown in a long time. Really? You didn't seem very resty. So why haven't you flown? I heard you had an accident, but that was years ago. Surely that didn't keep you out of action until now. Unfortunately, it did. The injury is much worse than the news reported. As you probably know, the crash led to my legs getting crushed. Yeah, I read about that. What most people don't know is a wound on my right leg got infected with a flesh-eating bacteria. I nearly lost my life, then my leg. I'm sorry, I had no idea. It's fine. We're squad mates now. Talisman smiled. He never thought he'd hear those words coming from his idol. He still had questions, though. I see you're walking fine now. How did they save it? Well, they removed almost all the infected tissue, after which my leg was left useless. Being stubborn as usual, I told them to try anything other than amputation. So they removed muscle tissue from other places in my body, and 17 surgeries, and months of rehab later, I'm back in action. That's amazing! How long have you been back to normal? I had my last surgery to remove the cast just recently, and I was released last week. You should write a book or something. You really are an inspiration! In case you haven't noticed by now, I'm not comfortable with all the praise. Oh, I noticed. It's not going to stop me from gushing. I think you and I are going to get along just fine. Come on, let's go find Hector. The two of them walked inside and noticed Hector talking on the phone. Hector saw them walking in and muted the phone. How'd it go? He's great. Just like we were told. Tops. Head into the briefing room. I'll be there in a minute.
This is our boss through Electors. Thank you for holding.
My name is Hector Lumen. I'm a liaison officer with the IUN. Would you be able to give me some information on your personnel from back in 2016? Particularly anyone who worked on the design of the IUN?
I'll see what I can do. First, let me verify who you are.
So, what's this about? What's he up to? Don't mind him. He's just doing some good old detective work. Thank you.
Now, divulging any information about our employees is not a normal function of ours. Is there someone specific you have in mind?
Listen, this is highly sensitive information. I need to speak with someone higher up in the company.
Absolutely, sir. Please hold.
While Hector was waiting, he went into the briefing room. Sorry, just a bit longer. Take your time.
Hello? Officer Lumen?
Yep, I'm here.
My name is Mikael. I am the manager of this facility.
Thank you. Were you told why I'm calling?
That. And I already know who you're looking for.
You do?
His name is Lawrence Riedel. He left the company to join the Air Force after the outbreak of the war. He was integral in the creation of many of our designs.
Mind telling me how to spell that? You think this is about that plane? I wouldn't doubt it. Thank you. Glad to see someone who can help out.
No problem. If you need anything else I can help you with, give me a call.
Good day. Hector hung up the phone before immediately dialing another number. Talisman's curiosity got the better of him, and he went out to talk to Hector. Catch me up here. Who are you talking to? Oh, Boss True. I've noticed some odd details in their aircraft, and I want to know more about it. What kind of details? The Belkin kind. It's a stretch, I admit, but I'll explain in a sec. Yes, I'm gonna send you a name. Spelling goes as follows. He spelled out the name before hanging up. Okay, I'll come back to that later. Let's get back to the briefing room. What did you find out? Not much yet, but let's get down to business here. Hector opened his briefcase and pulled out a contract. Here is the official contract. If you sign this, your life will change. How so? First off, you will be moved to Hylock Base, where you and the rest of the squadron will be stationed until further notice. You will be compensated, of course. You will all become the highest paid pilots in the history of the IUN. Or ISAF. Great, but why the contract? I'm already a part of the IUN. Yes, but this coalition has many differences to your current position. One of the most crucial being that you cannot talk to anyone about this coalition except for the people in it, of course. We won't stop you from visiting with friends or family, but you can't tell them what you're doing. I understand. Just let me take a look. Talisman read over the contract very carefully. After several minutes, he was ready to make a decision. It all seems right to me. Alright, I'm in. He signed it, and gave it back to Hector. Very good. Congratulations, Travis. So now that I'm in, who else will I be flying with? I would like to know that too. Right, you don't know either. Well, I assume you two are familiar with the Rosgrees. Wow, they're legends too! You got all of them? That's right, all 4. Are they the specialists you mentioned earlier? No. The specialist is a pilot you might know as the Demon Lord. What? Wait, he's real, and you found him. Where did you dig him up? Our Red Federal. He was in prison? Yes, he had been there since '96. And the board signed off on that. The vote passed by 1. Alright. I won't waste my breath voicing my concerns then. This is really exciting. You're picking all these legends and you think I'm up there with all of them? You are, Travis. Jonathan is right. You have a very impressive resume. We would be daft to leave you out. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I think I'll be thanking you very soon. Suddenly Hector's attention shifted when he received a text. What's the matter? Our boss sure gave me the name of a designer that used to work there. His name is Lorenz Riedel. What about him? Apparently he went missing after the end of the Balkan War, only to resurface briefly when he worked on the IUN. He's gone missing again now. I'll be frank, Travis, this concerns the safety of Ameria. I'll give you a week to get your things ready and head to Hylock Base. Is that fair? Yes, sir. And I promise, I'll live up to whatever expectations you have set for me. Jonathan, I've got your back. Well then, we sent our invitations to everyone. Now let's get started.